Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Anita Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy breathing and mindful actions. I'm in a new location in Bali, and not so new because I've actually been here before and loved this homestay and this environment, and it's a beautiful place, and I am happy to be here again. Today, I thought I would talk to you about inclusion and diversity. And inclusivity and diversity is so talked about today in different organizations. Definitely, government talks about it. Certainly, different leadership groups talk about this. We talk about this in communities. And yet, what do these things mean, and are we actually practicing, which is always, I feel, the point. So today I thought I'd start with this quotation. And these first two quotations I actually don't have an author for, but I feel they're very useful, very meaningful, and I hope you'll reflect on them. This first one says, diversity is a fact, inclusion is an act. Diversity is a fact, inclusion is an act. And today, I'll let you know that I'm going to do a few videos on diversity and inclusion and talk about these things a little bit more from some different angles, but really getting to the same point. This next quotation also expresses what I'd like to share. It says inclusive, this meaning. It does not mean, quote, if you want to participate, conform to the cultural or social norm of the majority. It means diversity is so vital that every person will have his needs met so that all have access to the same opportunities to learn, play, and live. Learn, play, and live. And this is so useful to reflect on, this mind believes, and I hope you do too. It's because this whole idea of, yes, I certainly agree, if you go into a community that is speaking a completely different language, it is inclusive to try to learn a little bit of that language if you can. And some people's minds are very easy for learning new languages. Some people's are not, and yet the energy of inclusivity is felt. And so even without really perfecting another language, that energy is felt. And this is something we can all strive to do, to actually feel like we're inclusive. Not because I feel sorry for you, that, oh my goodness, I'm visiting a poor country and I feel so sorry, or I feel better than you, so I better help you because I'm in a poor country. Inclusive of who are you, let me try to understand you. This, I feel like understanding the stranger as much as I feel like understanding a friend or a family member. So that sort of idea, that's inclusivity. And this diversity is the fact that we are actually quite different. So even in a family, you will notice that personalities are quite different. Sometimes it's this cousin is different, and many families I've heard use that term of black sheep. Oh, that they were the black sheep of the family, or I'm the black sheep of the family. And it's all because so diverse. Yet, can we value that? Because it's really beautiful to be able to see that, wow, that's a different way than the rest of the family thinks, but it's so unique and it's so special. Let me try to understand that. Doesn't mean I have to adopt it, doesn't mean I have to accept it for my thinking style, but I can expand my thinking style by understanding, wow, this is how this person looks at this, or that, or feels, or mannerisms, anything. This person eats this way, this person walks this way, this person stands this way, whichever, but just understanding and including that in that diversity. That diversity, of course, even within a family, we'll see all sorts of different things, whether we see a person is a different color, then most of the family is light skinned, this person is a little bit darker skinned, and then do I have this unconscious bias of, oh, they're just not as good looking as the rest of the family. They're the black sheep, I don't know. It's so crazy. We can do the opposite too, that, oh, a person just has no color and they should go to a tanning bed. All of that judgment, it's nothing about accepting that diversity. And this is just color. We do this, of course, with strangers, and only if we're consciously aware of why we're doing what we do we notice our mannerisms actually change. Even if I think this person went to this university and I went to this university, and I certainly know that when I was at McMaster, there was a lot of university bias, I'll say, where there was comparisons of Ontario universities, and each major university felt just a little bit better than the others, and each one found its reasons. This is the reason we're better. There's no better or lesser, yet to feel really proud of where you're at is beautiful, and really proud of the diversity that's in the environment too. So recognizing that, yeah, that school's really good, it's also in Ontario, and they really focus on this, is a beautiful place to be. And this is what we can do in our society. So in countries, when I've visited different countries now, certainly seeing similar energy as in Canada, that when someone from a different country is coming, there is a little curiosity, and sometimes there's an immediate judgment. Oh, people from that country are like this. And unless, excuse me, unless I'm mindfully aware of where is this mind, what am I thinking and why, and how do I behave with the person and why, we don't reflect on these things. Even, I'll say in Thailand and in Bali, of course we'll see some people that are in holy robes, I'll say, and so we can see monks, and in that, there's, even at airports can see this, and oftentimes that's a very holy person. For all we know, that person has been pushed out from their holy tradition, or has moved out from a different holy tradition. And why is it that a certain wear, something that someone is wearing, puts such an impression in our minds? I find I notice this a lot in Bali, where I was just speaking with another lady who's staying here at this homestay, and I know that we were talking about how, it's so immediate that people will say, oh, you're wearing Bali, it's Balian, it's Balian. And yes, even the driver that brought me here said, oh, Hanifo, how come you're not wearing Bali wear? And this is a kabaya, which is, a Bali style. And I said, because I just like to dress up. And for me, yes, I really do like kabayas. And yes, I know that it is really appreciated. Kabayas are appreciated in general. And well-dressed is appreciated. You know that girls go crazy for the Sharp Dressed Man. That Sharp Dressed Man song certainly does hit home for me, that I really do like someone who's sharply dressed, who's put the effort into putting themselves together. And yes, maybe if I feel very strongly about this is the formal wear here, I might notice that more in an environment. Yet I don't give more value to it. I think a sharp dress, neat, well presented, is such a beautiful mannerism to have. Now, do I feel less about people who are not well presented or not wearing what I think is nice in terms of this is what's here? Because I do remember when I wore a Thai outfit, which I really liked, everyone in Bali was a little bit surprised of, okay, so that's not Bali, and it looks nice. Like, you look really nice. I got so many compliments that day, and people didn't know where it was from. And so I explained, and yet there was kind of that, wow, yeah, it looks nice. As soon as I wore Bali clothes again, it was like, wow, that's beautiful. It's a completely different energy. Why do we do this? And very important for us to recognize that, yes, it's good to honor and respect a place, a culture that we come into, but not because it changes who we are. So this recognition, both by a community that's judging someone from outside the community, and for ourselves coming into a community. If I have no money and I don't feel very accepted, and so I think, oh, I better put on a kabaya because that will make me accepted, it's not a very good feeling. When I'm wearing something that makes me feel great, it's a great feeling. That's the energy that comes out from me. So this next quotation, I wanted to share this with you to work a little bit deeper. And I work with heart health, brain health normally. So this quotation says, when I see you through my eyes, I think that we are different. When I see you through my heart, I know we are the same. And this is so important. This is, for me, the bottom line, that where are we looking from? And you know that everything on the outside will change. It's those things that are inside that are the eternal links that bind us all, that love, that compassion, that respect, that acceptance, all of that energy. That's inclusion and diversity in action. So the next quotation I wanted to share is this. Diversity is celebrating our differences, not erasing them. Diversity is celebrating our differences, not erasing them. So again, If I come and I see lots of people from all over the world here that might be wearing jeans, and there's a lot of people in Bali that wear jeans, and yet many from the community would look at someone wearing jeans and say, yeah, not Balian. And many watching someone who's wearing kabaya will say, that's Balian. And yet they would still recognize there's something a little bit different. We don't really have Bali features, perhaps. And yet, if we can just understand that we like beauty, we like things that are put together nicely, even when someone is wearing jeans, they can look very well presented. They could look neat and smart and handsome or beautiful, whichever way. We can see this. It's also how a person carries themselves. It's also the mannerism of the person in their speech and their conduct. And this, to recognize that diversity and celebrate those things, is such a beautiful space to be for all of us. And again, I'm doing a lot of learning and practice in Bali, yet I do this everywhere. It was interesting, I was reflecting on the fact that when I was in my naturopathic practice, many times people knew that I was married to a Caucasian man. And many times I'd have a non-Caucasian client say, I'm so happy that I'm seeing you because you understand our people. And it wouldn't matter which culture, actually. It was just that it was colored versus not meaning Caucasian versus any color. That made me somewhat acceptable. And I thought that was really interesting. Then when actual comments were said about Caucasians, this is how they are, I remember I was very not comfortable with that. And I would literally let clients know that that I am actually married to a Caucasian person, so the generalizations you're making would not apply. And they say, no, we know that he's okay. It's so interesting that what makes him okay because of a relationship with me, that's ridiculous in my mind. And unless we actually bring our attention to this, we don't change ourselves. I find that this, mind, body, soul, has actually felt that way throughout my life. So even as children, we know that children actually don't really see color so much. It's just, I like this person because they're nice to me. This is my best friend because, and I don't care about their color in that time. Over time, we start being conditioned by the people around us and start thinking, this is better. This is more like me. This is a better person than that, because it could be a color, could be a religion, could be the nationality. And this starts becoming our unconscious bias. So that, again, celebrating our differences. I finally thought today's video, I'm hoping that this is not too much information for us all to put together and reflect on, but I wanted to finish with this quotation by Abraham Lincoln, and I really feel this. It says, I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. His place. Now what's his place? Many of us have become very egocentric in that. This is my country, this is my community, this is my small group, whichever. This is my family, right? So we get from the big to smaller, but as soon as it's mine, that I want to make them proud of me because these are my people. When I look at our experience, and certainly from this perspective, I've always felt that this place is the earth. This place, leave this place proud of us. Let us work in a way that this place, that there are no boundaries in terms of where we can do good. We can feel kindly. We can include all with our own daily experiences. We can include all in our generosity. We can be inclusive, and we can respect and honor diversity. Today, this is the first video of a series, as I mentioned, and I hope you got something out of it. Today, I hope you look around yourself and see the diversity and value it, rather than looking at, this is what I don't like about those people. What do I like about those people, which are really me? This is our people. We are one. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.